Well, I piece it down a lot, but yeah.
But I think volume is the way to go.
It'd just be interesting.
You guys
like
are one step away from like a Howard Hughes, like saving your piss in jars, wearing Kleenex boxes on your feet.
We should weigh our fingernails as well. Like, what's the biggest chunk of thumbnail you've ever
just
clipped
everything,
off?
like stuff that you won't look at until you're on your deathbed, and you'll just be thinking there, wow, I wasted a lot of time sleeping and doing twosies.
Oh, I took a big shit, though. That was cool.
let's see like the final stats. It's like game over. Here's what you achieved. Here's your performance report.
Do you know who was supposedly?
And then you can compare it to all the other people dying around you.
Plus also-
what was your biggest dump?
Well, it would be
3
interesting. It's like
pounds.
over a
God,
lifetime.
Jesus, why are
How
you
big of a
saying this?
difference is there between food eaten and waste produced?
Right.
Like, what's the delta on that?
Although, would you have to eat all your food on the toilet seat though?
No, you'd have to find a way to weigh your food ahead of
Yeah.
time.
All I'm saying is that invention that you just came up with is probably the
Shitstats.com.
next version would then have Wi-Fi built into it. If that was the case, I would never log on to Facebook ever again. There's like a button to share.
Connect with Facebook or
Oh my
Twitter?
god, fuck that.
Gavin just took a huge deuce. Hashtag
Good
shit
lord.
stats. There you go,
The shit
Gavin.
my toilet says.
Jesus Christ. I thought of stupid shit during the day.
Finally, Tumblr would be relevant to
Oh.
people. What would you do with the information? Like, if you found out this was
It's
the record
interesting
breaker?
information, just unique.
It's not.
Just you?
No, I think stats are really interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like
I'm a
when you
metric
play a video
junkie
game,
too.
you fire how many bullets, and like they track all that
And you
stuff.
can compare. Like, would you be interested how much you've slept compared to another man of your age?
Okay, now listen. That I do. Like,
'Cause you probably
that's
slept
a
less than most.
That's a function of the Fitbit. So when
Oh.
you can wear the Fitbit at night on an armband, and it'll show you over time your sleep patterns and when you wake up or whatever. There's even now a I'll look at the name of it. I think it's called a Xeno or something. It's a headband you can wear, and it connects to your alarm clock wirelessly, so that when you're awake, the alarm clock wakes you up.
Oh.
Like closest to your
that's
time
cool.
when you
Oh,
want to
you
wake
can do
up.
that with an app as well. It detects your movement in the night, and
You set it on the bed.
Yeah, and because I guess sleep moves in similar 4-hour cycles or something,
Uh-huh.
it picks the best 20-minute window to wake you up.
I can't keep my
And
phone
it's
next
like-
to me at night. It's because
Well, I
it's,
would
it's
want-
my alarm in the morning, so I
Yeah.
just hit snooze. I have to go on like a crazy adventure every morning in order to just get out of
I
bed.
just don't want a phone near my head. Like,
It's a
all the time.
Zeo.
It can't be
That's
good.
what it is. A Zeo headband. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Speaking of having a phone near your head, so Erin's in France right now, and the French family that she's staying with believes in what they keep referring to as the waves. They turn off the internet at night, and they turn off all the phones in the house at night because they're afraid of
Cancer.
the waves that get in your head. Like,
Yeah.
they were mortified that like she slept with her, like she used her phone as an alarm. I feel like that's just, I don't know. I feel like that's
Well,
crazy. Am I crazy for thinking
Radio
that's
waves
crazy?
are hitting you anyway. I guess there's less, but your phone puts off radiation too. I don't know. It's all disputable. There's studies that say that talking on the phone a lot increases the odds for brain tumors, but they're really inconclusive.
Yeah, fuck
Well,
it.
do you know about fan death? You must.
Yes,
oh,
I do know
shit.
about
You're
fan death.
married to a Korean woman. You must know about fan death.
What's
Yeah.
fan death?
Fan death is a widely held belief in South Korea that if you have a fan running in a room while you sleep, you'll die.
Die of what?
Fan.
You'll die of fan death.
That
It's called fan
I
death.
believe they think, or the thought is that it sucks the air out of your body,
Something like
like
that.
out of your lungs, and you suffocate.
Fan death.
So it's like
It's to like cover up like
It's like an air dehydrator.
Exactly.
Fan death is a widely held belief in South Korea that an electric fan left running overnight in a closed room can cause the death of those sleeping inside. All fans sold in South Korea come with an automatic timer that turns the fan off after a certain number of minutes.
come to
In
that.
general, scientific consensus holds that fan death is a myth.
So you think
Yeah.
that's a load of rubbish, right?
Yes.
Would you sleep with 100 fans aimed at you?
that
In
sounds like
the
the most comfortable night's
I
sleep
sleep
ever.
with a fan on a high
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
my face.
But I probably couldn't sleep with 100 fans on me. It'd be like too much wind. Yeah, too much noise.
I always think about, we were talking about zero gravity last week and space gravity, but
Oh, right.
I always wonder what it'd be like to have to like strap in and sleep in zero gravity.
Mm.
That must be the weirdest thing, like just that floating feeling, but you're
Yeah.
sleeping.
Isn't
all
there
day.
that thing astronauts have to do where they have to vibrate themselves, otherwise their bone density drops or something like that? Like they get weak
No,
bones.
I think you're right. Yeah,
They
I
have
mean,
to sit on a vibrating chair. Or
I don't know what they do to combat it, but I know that like bone density loss is a problem when
So
in
like
prolonged
they
zero
land
G.
back in gravity and all of a sudden their legs are really weak from just floating around.
It'd be
for
great
3
if they
months.
had like one astronaut. That's his job, is to vibrate everybody else. Like, stage you.
Doing a good job, Frank.
But I think it's like when I was reading about manned missions to Mars and how long that would take and everything they would do to combat just the effects of being in deep space for a long period of time. When they actually do get into low gravity, not just 0G, but actual low gravity. And they like there was all these mechanisms of like bungee treadmills where they would like, I think it was even thinking like is the waist, it would like almost like vacuum seal at their waist, so it would like simulate gravity via a vacuum, and then they would just run on a treadmill there. So
Cool.
More you know? They could also do like a centrifugal force thing, or like a hamster wheel where they put someone on it and it creates an artificial bit of gravity or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure they have smarter people working on it than just me.
So once again, we got to come up with a word for that. What is the word that is the faith that people more intelligent than me have analyzed this problem and have solved it?
Do you think NASA would be interested to know how much people's poops weigh? This got to
They
be
probably
benefit
do.
for an
They probably have
astronaut.
that on the show.
They probably have to know.
I bet the Army knows.
How much fuel does it cost to move like 2 pounds of turd?
Right. Do they make the astronauts to like go take a dump before you get on the space shuttle?
Yeah,
You're gonna say
well,
it was $20,000 in rocket
Gavin,
fuel.
Gavin, think about that really logistically.
What?
Why would they have to know how much the poop weighs? They're not.
What do you mean? Every single thing inside the space shuttle is as light as it can be because it costs so much money and
Where does
fuel.
the poop come from, Gavin? I mean,
I'm talking about
they
food.
put the food on the ship.
Yeah, they don't want to put extra poop on. If they've already eaten it, they're bringing in more than they need.
He's talking about takeoff.
Yeah.
The astronauts are weighed. The astronauts weigh what they weigh, complete with poop. The food that they
What-
put on the
what do you mean
ship
they're weighed with
weighs
poop?
as much. They don't go into space and poop comes from.
No, but if they can dump on the ground and they can lose 5 pounds of
Yeah.
weight from everyone dumping.
They weigh them
You
before
just-
they get in the goddamn
Right.
shuttle.
What I'm
Why,
saying,
why are they weighing them for at that point? They've already built the shuttle. They've already put the fuel
Why
in.
would they weigh the poop? Why
They're not
would
going to
they
weigh
do
the poop. They're not
You're
going
just
to weigh
doing
the
what every
poop.
family does before you go on a vacation. You say, hey, go to the bathroom, take a shit before we go on this long trip.
Yeah.
We're
That's what
going to the
saying they
moon
need
and
to
there's no
do.
rest stops.
We
on
did that
the
before
way.
the podcast. Everybody go take a shit. We don't know how much shit this couch can handle
It
before we
costs a lot
start
of money to
recording.
broadcast the extra weight.
So every thought process you have is pretty much below the waist. Every single thing that you think about. Thank God you don't have a hand gesture for poop. I wouldn't even want to see that level that you have for that.
We were talking about this before the podcast. So people with Tourette's that can't control things that they say, do you think people that are deaf, they speak in sign language, do they sign things?
It's no. They just make noises. Tourette's is not what
that-
you think it is. It's not always.
A lot of
verbal.
Right,
times
right.
it's
I do know,
swearing
it's
too,
just
though.
it's a tick or
It's a twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch,
Yeah,
thank
a
you.
tick,
Yeah, a tick. I don't know, I was just wondering.
I mean, they get Tourette's is like, I guess the funny version
I-
of Tourette's is that people can't control the fact that they say expletives.
That
but
sucks, man.
Usually it's just like noises and whistles and
Yeah.
jerks.
right, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I think I read something on Reddit that said that people who are deaf and use sign language to communicate, that when they dream, instead of talking in their sleep, that some have been found to sign in their sleep.
You mean while they're sleeping, they're
just
signing?
signing.
They're
Right.
not signing in a dream.
Right.
Yeah,
That they're sleeping and signing instead of like sleep talking.
that's weird. Man, I hope in our lifetime we do get to the point where we can record and play back dreams, because that would be fucking awesome.
No, I'd be worried about. Well, I wouldn't show it to anyone.
I would just want to see my own. I wouldn't necessarily want to see
God.
anybody else's.
There's
Man, I have been dreaming like fucking crazy. I know I talk about it all the time. That alpha brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I'll
my
do
god. I had crazy dreams all night. I think it's driving my wife crazy because I think it makes me enter like a prolonged, deeper sleep, because she says that whenever I'm taking it, I snore like a motherfucker. She said she just about killed me last night. Like she said that her and the dog were up all night just staring at me.
that sounds like a creepy dream right there.
Do you ever wake yourself up snoring? Like
Yes.
From the noise?
I've done that on planes. I've never done it in my bed though.
I find that I'm way more peaceful in my sleep when I can hear myself snoring.
You're way more peaceful.
Like I'm much more
What?
relaxed. Like I can hear myself snoring. Like I can't really hear it, but I know I'm snoring, and it just fills me with just relaxation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it seems like if
paradise.
you're aware of your snoring, you're not in as deep of a sleep.
It's weird. And I only know I'm snoring because like I'll be next to someone and they'll punch me for snoring.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know about what you're saying, but I do know that seeing a dog fart itself awake is like the best thing.
He said farts itself awake and then it looks around to figure out who did that.
What the fuck was that?
That's the greatest.
I mean, you
All
gotta
right.
put up with dog fart smell.
So do you want to? Barb's been curating some of the questions. You want to take some questions from the audience?
Sure,
real
we
quick?
take a couple questions.
Okay, the first one is related to RVB. It's by Jono CH. What is the name of the actress from the live action sequence in the latest RVB episode? That might be a little bit of a spoiler for those of you who have not seen the latest RVB episode.
Good save.
But they're all sponsors, so maybe we'll edit that out. The new actress in the latest episode of Red vs. Blue is Lindsay Hicks. She's been in a couple of RT shorts.
Did you do Pajama Achievements?
She was in Pajama Achievements a couple times, and so she's our new actress in Red vs. Blue.
She cool.
She's extremely funny.
She's extremely awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay. Yeah. I'm glad we finally got a chance to work with her again. Also, will we see a Let's Play? This is from Skylaka. Your name is terrible. 117. Will we see a Let's Play of DayZ now that Achievement Hunter has PCs? So do you want to do a Let's Play of DayZ?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We can do that. I feel like
The best person to run that is Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows DayZ.
I've never played
wanna
it.
play that game so bad.
So you've played DayZ.
Yep.
That motherfucker flies helicopters. Like I was
What?
like,
No, yep.
that's in the game? He's like, oh yeah. I was
You
like,
can fly choppers.
yeah. He's like, you have to fix it and find it, but you can fly it. I was like, I've never seen that.
I have found parts to helicopters and parts to cars. It's like I'm wandering around the city and I find a transmission. I was like, I'm just gonna haul
So
around.
how many pieces do you need?
I don't know. I guess it depends
And
on what kind
imagine
of car you
being
find.
almost ready to build a car and then someone kills you. That'd be really frustrating.
Yep.
I'm also imagining a guy carrying around enough pieces to make a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a video game.
Just
Yeah,
build your
you're
own. Do they still have bikes in there? I haven't seen a bicycle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
he was
still
on a
bikes.
bike last week. There was a dude in full ghillie suit camo just riding around on a bike down the street.
Man, I tell you, zombie apocalypse. I'd ride a bike.
Yeah.
It's reliable.
Silent.
It's silent. There you go, Miles. That's good thinking.
It's only
ready,
silent. It's only silent if you pedal it.
What?
If
What?
Only silent. If
Oh,
what?
you're talking about the click when you.
Yeah.
That thing.
You have to be exhausting.
You
Yeah,
fig-
but
you
that-
figure that out.
But
Yeah.
shut up.
And then one last question, real quick, in this little session here. Anybody watch the? This is a terrible one because I know the answer's gonna be no. But did anyone watch the season premiere of Dexter? Anybody?
Jack did.
Negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that there was that he was like gaming or something, and there's like a gaming. That's all I heard from Jack. They said something about a video game.
Cool story, bro. Don't kill me.
This is your fucking last.
What about
podcast.
Revolution? Anybody watching Revolution?
It didn't seem.
heard of that.
It didn't grab me.
No.
What was that?
John Favreau and J.J. Abrams. I don't know how that can miss.
Yeah.
You know, especially in those first, like, J.J. Abrams stuff, especially in the
Like-
first season, is always incredible.
I-
First
I-
season of Felicity. Remember Alias, the first season?
Alias is awesome up until that fucking Super Bowl episode.
Yeah, but the Super Bowl episode itself was great.
And
it's-
but no, the first 2/3 of it are great,
Right.
and then it's like something happens.
So Alias was a J.J. Abrams show before Lost, where it was, what's her name? Her name is Sydney in the show. She's married to Ben Affleck, that actress, Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer, yeah.
So she's Jennifer Garner's show, where she's a spy, but she's also a college student. Which you guys made fun of me for watching, and I said, just watch the goddamn show, it's okay. And it was really great. So she was living like this double life, and her parents were spies in the 70s. It was a really cool show. She was hunting down these artifacts, and there was a lot of numerology in it, which never paid off.
Yeah.
And the first season and a half were awesome, and it was like a cult hit show, always starting to be canceled, like all sci-fi-ish
Yeah.
stuff is. And they gave it the slot after the Super Bowl, and so everyone who watched the show was super excited that Alias was going to be on after the Super Bowl. It was an amazing episode. They had her like half naked in the first 2 minutes of it.
Yeah.
She takes a plane down, and it was badass. But they wrapped up every single plot point in the show to that point. And so they could start over new with the new Super Bowl audience. And it was like, after that, then it was like, it wasn't the same show anymore.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
I thought the coolest setup in that show was the way they explained it was she was a spy for an enemy of the United States. And this enemy of the United States tricked all of its spies and told them that it was really a secret government agency. They were working for the United States government.
Right.
But they were working against the US government. They just didn't know that.
But the
So it's like
audience knew
super
it.
complicated. So she gets turned and becomes a US agent who's embedded in the fake US agency that's working
Right.
against the US government.
And like the
understood all
people
that.
she works with, they all think they're like super patriotic and they think they're working for the US, but she knows they don't. And so there was all these characters like, who's going to find out when? And there were also people in her life, like her personal life. One of them was Bradley Cooper, was one of the main characters in that.
Yeah.
And when were they going to find out she's a spy, not just like a regular person walking around? So it was like all this like subterfuge going on in it. Then in the course of one episode, everybody found out, everybody knew about SD6?
Yeah, I think
Is
that's
what
it.
it's called?
Yeah.
SD6. And yeah, the whole thing got shut down, and then they just started a whole new series.